This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Shasheena Rolle. As always, it is so great to have you with us. The Bahamas will be the host destination for a mega regional festival later this year. Tonight, Sabrina Brown tells us that Grand Bahama stands to reap huge benefits for the event.
It is now official. The Bahamas will host the 2013 Design Caribbean Trade Show on Grand Bahama in June. A formal signing ceremony was held at the Ministry for Grand Bahama on Friday morning. Minister for Grand Bahama Dr. Michael Darville is excited about this major venture.
As the host country, it is our belief that this Design Caribbean Show will bring numerous benefits to the island of Grand Bahama. Firstly, this forum will raise the profile of Grand Bahama and promote this island as a global shipping and trade center. Secondly, this show will provide substantial injection into the Bahamian economy and to the local economy, and we expect hundreds of persons and artisans to descend on Grand Bahama throughout the Caribbean, as well as hundreds of buyers and onlookers.
Executive Director of the Caribbean Export Development Agency, Pamela Koch Hamilton, believes this is a golden opportunity for this island nation.
It reflects a vital sector for us, and it's a new thrust for Caribbean exports engagement and commitment to building world-class brands and showcasing Caribbean excellence and uniqueness across the global marketplace.
Executive Chairman at the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation, Arnold Forbes, says Grand Bahama's economy has been suffering for some time now, and such an event should provide tremendous benefits.
Design Caribbean offers great opportunities, not only for local manufacturers, but also for the country as a whole and Grand Bahama specifically. It is expected to attract large numbers from outside the country as exhibitors and vendors, buyers who will require hotel rooms, shopping, dining, tours, and generally spend money to boost the economy of Grand Bahama.
President of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Ian Rolle, and Chamber President Barry Malcolm endorsed the initiative.
There are also the significant economic benefits of increased air arrivals, hotel room nights, entertainment, and dining. There is also the benefit of acquiring new contacts for product sourcing and sales for export to new markets by our local artisans.
For the Bahamas, for Grand Bahama especially, to be a part of hosting a gathering of like minds, a gathering of creative minds, to share ideas, to present their wares, is a tremendous and very timely opportunity.
Design Caribbean will be held at the Grand Lucayan Resort June 20th through 23rd. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Now, the Minister for Financial Services, Ryan Pinder, was also on hand for today's signing ceremony.
We as a government, in our Charter for Governance, stated that we would enhance and define and promote the creative industries of the Bahamas to create an economically viable engine to really assist many of the artisans who are so creative in our country, to ensure that there's an economic viability to what they are doing. And this Design Caribbean Conference provides the avenue to do just that.
Well, Pinder says the government is committed to taking this sector to another level.
My ministry, through the cooperation of the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, and the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation, and the private sector, have created a Creative Industries Council in which we will establish policy for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to promote and to develop and define the creative industries of this country and our talented Bahamians that exist here, and to make their hard work economically viable in this community. And we look forward to working and defining what that means, and ultimately preparing draft legislation to provide the incentives necessary to develop this industry into an economically viable engine for the country.
Well, today marks the official opening of the new legal year on Grand Bahama. On island for the occasion was the Attorney General, Senator the Honorable Allison Maynard Gibson, and other high-ranking government officials. This morning, members of the legal fraternity and those who have vowed to uphold the ideals of justice. Joan Davis Rolle reports.
The new legal year on Grand Bahama began with its traditional pomp and circumstance as members of the judiciary as well as members of the legal profession took to the streets of this island to signal its beginning. The Royal Bahamas Police Force were true to form in a ceremony which added to the occasion. Adorned in their professional attire, it was time for lawyers to leave the seat of legal governance, lofty chambers and law offices, and head to a place of worship, Christ the King Anglican Church. There, Canon Harry Bain, in a stirring sermon, made a submission of his own as he presented to some and introduced to others the ultimate authority in the courtroom of life.
I therefore put it to you today, do you know him? Do you know the Holy Spirit? Do you have a relationship with Him? Do you have a relationship with God? If you don't, how can you heed His guidance and direction? If you don't know Him, I urge you to get to know Him. If you do know Him but have fallen out of fellowship with Him, I urge you to seek Him out today. If you are in relationship with Him, I urge you to deepen that relationship.
Canon Bain then entered into evidence what could be described as easy, verifiable facts.
Crime is not decreasing. The courts are overbooked, and you are overtaxed, and some of you might say underpaid. If you follow Paul's advice to rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep, to be of the same mind toward one another, not to be haughty in mind, but associate with the lowly, not to be wise in your own estimation, to never pay back evil for evil to anyone, to respect what is right in the sight of all men, and if possible, and so far as it depends on you, be at peace with all men.
The religious leader further made this appeal.
As lawyers and judges, you are called upon to bring resolution to disputes, to bring closure, to bring forth justice. Do not become known as the one who only causes dissension, but be known as the one who brings peace and a just conclusion to the situation.
And Bain warned lawyers that in the charge of their duties as they begin this new year, they must promote the truth and nothing but the truth.
2013 will hold many challenges for you in your chosen profession. The work you do is critical to the good order and function of our society. You must be vigilant in your pursuit of justice and the rights of all. The watchwords of your advocacy for justice must always be fairness, honesty, and integrity.
Joan Davis Rolle, ZNS Network News.
The voters' register for the January 28th referendum is now closed. The Parliamentary Registration Department stayed open late last night to accommodate persons seeking to beat the January 10th registration deadline. Officials say at least 50 persons registered on closing day. The last count puts the total number of registered voters here on Grand Bahama well over 27,000. Now that's compared to 26,988 in last year's general election. Parliamentary officials say they also witnessed an influx of persons attempting to beat yesterday's deadline, submitting forms to vote in the January 21st advance poll. Now, come January 28th, Bahamians will be presented with two questions. Do you support the regulation and taxation of web shop gaming? And do you support the establishment of a national lottery? The result of the poll will be determined by a simple majority of the number of yes or no votes. Leading up to the January 28th referendum, the Parliamentary Registration Department will engage in a process of public education to ensure that the public is fully aware of the regulations governing this referendum. And as the date draws nearer to the gambling referendum, the Save Our Bahamas Committee is intensifying its campaign. A special forum on problem gambling will be conducted by a man who is internationally recognized for his work on gaming policy. Pastor Eddie Victor says the keynote speaker, Keith White, is also the executive director of the National Council of Problem Gambling in Washington, D.C.
He has 19 years of experience in public policy experience at the national level, including 17 years involvement with gaming and problem gambling issues. Recognized internationally for his work on gaming policy, Mr. White is a frequent commentator on gaming-related issues in the media worldwide. He serves on numerous boards and committees.
Now, the Problem Gambling Forum will be held this Saturday at Agape House at 9 a.m. Victor says problem gambling is a worldwide challenge, and this forum will reveal global research and studies on its devastating social and economic impact on families.
We have research studies what has happened in other Commonwealth countries, such as the UK, Australia, and to show that gambling, there is a common pattern, particularly when it comes to the social economic impact.
Stay with us, there's more news right after this.